This is Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans with me, Cheryl Burke, an iHeartRadio podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans. This is Cheryl Burke, and we are about to, meaning me, one woman show over here. I'm about to do a recap of week 5 of Dancing with the Stars. I haven't watched it yet. As you guys know, I don't necessarily wait till the judges' remarks or scores. I like to see the couple. I like to assess the couple myself. And what's interesting about tonight is because it's most memorable night, there's a lot of contemporaries. I am not, and I will just I'll hold myself accountable when I say I am not a great contemporary dancer, nor do I know what I'm looking for. So at the end of the day, I guess I'm going to do basically, go in blind here, and I'm going to just see as far as fluidity goes and transitions, I guess, because I don't know the technique of contemporary. So I probably, wouldn't listen to me. But but what I did see, which was refreshing, was a few Viennese waltzes. I love that Barry's doing a paso doble. And yeah, I can't wait to see it. Mainly though, I hope I can get through till the end of this show, because I know Len Goodman's tribute hits about halfway, I think, after Harry and Riley dance. So this is going to be very emotional. And I know a lot of you guys are asking, why am I not included and why wasn't I not invited? Look, your guess is as good as mine. This is not about me though tonight. This is about Len. All I can say is that, again, your guess is as good as mine. I haven't heard from anybody. I didn't hear from anybody as far as executives go. They didn't call and say you're not coming back. It's just that I never got an invite, point blank. Yeah. It's really sad, and it is, I don't know. I'm really hurt by it all still. So I guess I'm just trying to get through tonight. And I hear you guys though, and you guys have been so supportive, and thank you for all your beautiful messages. I read every single one of them. But let's make tonight about Len Goodman. All right, let's get started. Couple number 1, Mira and Gleb. They dance a contemporary. It was adorable. I love that she incorporated, her daughter. I love that, having to dance with 3 people isn't easy. So props to them for just that. I don't know if you guys remember, we used to do, I think it was like trio week or something, where we would basically pick another pro to dance with me. For example, me and my celebrity. One time I know me and William Levy danced a paso doble with Tony Devillani. So we choose basically the pros that have been eliminated. So I mean, look, Gleb's a professional. I love it. Look, again, as I said, I don't think I'm a great judge for contemporary. All I know, though, is that her daughter is amazing. I think her daughter may have, in a way, outshined her mom, not on purpose, obviously, but all eyes, for me at least, were on Mira's daughter, which is beautiful. And I love that. But again, this is about the celebrity, the Dancing with the Stars, so it's at the end of the day, I have to be able to also see the movement between Gleb and Mira. But overall, I thought it was a great way to start out the show. It was a sweet, sweet story. I love the song. Obviously brings me back to Romeo and Michelle days. And in a way, I almost wanted to laugh, because I know that scene in Romeo and Michelle was actually quite funny. But anyway, I love it. I have always been a fan of Mira and Gleb. I can't wait to see what they have in store next week. My score for them is a 7. Couple number 2, Ariana and Pasha. Okay, wait, first of all, I understand that she stumbled towards the end, but let's just talk about her story. I mean, talk about a woman who really, is now living that light at the end of the tunnel. She has shut that door. Though it was painful, she was able to now open another one and start her life and find her own identity. And, that's just exactly why you can't give up in general when, you feel like you're at your lowest low. And I can absolutely relate to Ariana's story as far as infidelity goes in a relationship, and catching your ex or your boyfriend or whatever at the time cheating. It's not fun, and you do feel like your life is completely just, broken. So I'm so happy that, I know dance is a form of therapy, and I know firsthand, because I definitely I have unconsciously used movement and dance and ballroom dance to help heal, past traumas. But okay, let's talk about her Viennese waltz. It's so beautiful. It's emotional. When Pasha and Ariana dance together, they have so much power. You know, when I said this last week about, like, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, about Sasha and Allison, like the power that Pasha uses to drive and to really use space as far as using the real estate of the floor is quite spectacular. I mean, you don't even really see this sometimes with pros, but let alone see it with like a celebrity and a pro dancer. This performance was the definition of authenticity and emotion through motion of her body. I mean, she exuded emotion. And this is what I mean by don't aim for perfection. Like, I loved that she stumbled. That just showed me that she had so much power and emotion through each movement, which was just so raw and real and refreshing to watch. I would have loved to see more content as far as Viennese waltz steps go, because they actually look better dancing together in hold than when they're apart. So for that, I give Ariana and Pasha an 8. Couple number 3, Charity and Artem. Yes, this is what I mean. Like, I literally had chills for a solid 8 seconds, and that's not easy for me. Again, I am not a contemporary dancer, but I know those bars. I don't know if you guys saw the latest season of the D'Amelios, but yes, Artem danced with Heidi D'Amelio. We became really good friends, me and Heidi. She took me to this class, which was like next to where we rehearse on the show, called Bar. I know those bars. It looked so good. Like, I think that this was something, I believe Artem, this is what Heidi told me, that they were going to possibly do this for a freestyle last season if they made it that far. But look, Charity you need to literally always find every dance. You need to figure out how you're going to put your real raw and emotions to the movement that you just did tonight, because that's all that's missing. The way that you ran towards Artem. He lifted you off the floor. You were straddling him. And like, even the way you were hugging him, you can tell like it wasn't manufactured. It wasn't because he told you to do it. This is what I mean. This is like what Ariana has, for example. Now, as far as movement goes, though, if Charity keeps it up with her emotion, Charity's technique is better than Ariana's. So, these girls could go head to head, because Ariana has the consistency as far as power and emotion goes, but Charity has the consistency of being technically sound, right? And pretty consistent. But then you add this emotion to her. Oh, she's unstoppable. Anyway, Artem definitely was a taskmaster in rehearsals. I don't know if this was a produced moment, but I don't think so, because I had never heard Artem talk with so much passion and intention. On this show, at least, as far as packages go. And he was like, you got to really feel this. And he was like, he got it out of her. And I'm sure it wasn't easy, but great job, you guys. My score for Charity and Artem, a 9. Couple number 4, Allison and Sasha. What a beautiful Viennese waltz. I'm going to be a little bit just critical because it is almost halfway through into this competition, and she's got a lot of competition. So with that, when you throw arms up in the air, and by the way, your husband is so cute, and I know how hard the show is, and you are not a dancer, and you have been killing it every week. So good on you for that. Definitely, I give you a 10 for that. But as far as the challenge goes, this is a ballroom dance competition. When we throw arms out in the air, it's for a purpose. It's for a reason. You want to feel like Spider-Man, right? You want to feel the energy, or like when Spider-Man would like put his hand out, right? You feel the energy through the fingertips. You really want to have a purpose and intention with any movement you have moving forward, which is why it's so vital that you learn the steps so that you can work on this detail. As far as content goes, Sasha really put this, routine together carefully, and I loved the fleckles. So would have Len. I couldn't see the footwork, so I don't know if they did it correctly, but there's only 3 steps in a Viennese waltz: reverse turns, natural turns, and a fleckle, and a throwaway oversway, and maybe a what's it called? Like pivots and stuff like that. But it's irrelevant. The point is that I still am missing power through the legs. And I think this is coming more from Sasha. Like, I would love for Sasha just to really drive through her. Like Pasha, when you see Pasha dance with Ariana, you see his body and his knees. His knees are moving forward as his upper body is moving back. It's like he's starting his engine. Right. If you look at their Viennese waltz again, you'll see right when they are about to do, a Viennese waltz step in hold, which I think it was reverse turns or natural turns, one of the two. He was driving that energy through his legs, his ankles, his feet, and all the way through Ariana's body. And I feel like with that routine, I wish Pasha, with a P, actually took Sasha's routine and performed that routine, because it was so full of content, which I really appreciate. But I feel like they could have gone around the whole ballroom floor maybe 2 or 3 more times. Anyway, other than that, this is definitely one of her better dances. I wouldn't say it's her best dance. I just would like a little bit less perfection. And not saying that it's perfect, but it was like, I feel like it's too careful. There was no huffing and puffing at the end of the dance. And I don't care if you're doing a waltz or a cha-cha. Your heart rate needs to go up. Okay? Point blank. This shouldn't be a walk in the park. Anyway, I give Allison and Sasha a 7. Couple number 5, Harry and Riley. Okay, super cute. I mean, honestly, I love that he's you could tell that he's really getting into the competition, because he's wearing a mesh shirt, unbuttoned. He has a full-on, soon to be at least, dancer's body. And, you could tell too with Riley that she's really comfortable because of the genre, of dance, which is contemporary for them. For me, obviously, I know it's most memorable night. I don't love the music. I think that I would have loved to see them dance to something with more emotion behind it. But look, I'm really starting to have a soft spot for Harry. And look, I still think his movements are fragmented. I still think that when he, maybe it's the bare feet, but when it comes to like those first few steps that they did in the contemporary, it just looked awkward. And he's really good at throwing her around and supporting Riley when she like throws herself into his arms and he has to lift her. You could tell she feels safe with him. And when it comes to that and their bond and their chemistry, I'm not saying these two are dating. Like, you guys need to get that out of your head. There's a trust, right? Within the relationship, within the partnership, that you either have or you don't. And for some people, they have it right away. And for some people, it takes longer. And by the time that happens, you go home. And with them, I think it's both of their first time doing this show. And within that, like I said last week, there's nothing like your first, right? Look, I also saw Riley trying to like snap Harry out of it a little bit by like, I don't know what she was mouthing to him, but it was really cute because then he actually snapped out of it and he was like present and he was there in the moment. I think obviously he was a little bit nervous, and it's so nice just to, he reminds me of like a Rob Kardashian or someone who, or Ty Murray from seasons ago when he danced with Chelsea Hightower and he was married to Jewel at the time, who got injured. But he was not a great dancer, you guys. But what was so endearing was seeing his journey and how hard he was trying. Like, I don't know if he ever improved either. Like, he was still really stiff. But at the end of the day, people like to root for the underdog. They like to root for someone who tries, who shows up, and who trusts their pro dancer and their pro partner. I gave you guys a 6. Okay, I'm a mess at the moment. That tribute was so beautiful. And God, what a huge impact Len Goodman made on everybody. I don't know. I wish I was there. That's all. I said my words in my tribute earlier, but it's not much more I can say other than I'm just so sad that I wasn't there tonight. Okay, so I'm back. I had to take about 20 minutes just now to, pull myself together. how interesting. I mean, it's such a different vibe to go from like, Moon River to On the Road Again by Willie Nelson, Jason and Daniela. I mean, I'm still sad from the last performance, and I did take a 20-minute commercial break myself, meaning like I had to just take 20 minutes. Anyway, okay, so they broke hold, Jason and Daniela, a million different times, which is a shame because I would understand if she was dancing with someone like Tyson or whatever. But again, this isn't the challenge. The challenge, I thought, and I think should still be, enforced, or else it just ends up being a free-for-all. Like, what is the competition? The challenge is to become a ballroom dancer, and in no world do you see international standard quick step choreography looking like that. I'm a huge fan of Daniela and Jason, but they were in hold for like 2/8, and then they broke hold for another 2/8, and then did it and repeated it. Like, I was hoping at least for the last half they were going to stay in ballroom hold per the challenge. Len would not give this a 10, but I don't know. Like, we know he can jive already. Like, I want to see something challenging for Jason. I know this whole thing is challenging. I get it. But can you stay in hold the whole time, except for the first 5 to 10 seconds at the top and the last 5 to 10 seconds at the bottom? That is what is so hard about this show, is that there are rules that we have to follow. Anyway, little disappointing. I give, but like obviously great, still really good, honestly, except for me, what was the challenge here? Anyway, Jason and Daniela, I give you guys a 7. Couple number 7, Lele and Brandon. First off, thank you, Lele, for all the work that you do, and also a fellow advocate of mental health here. It really does start with having these conversations and opening up your world and your life and realizing that, we all go through it. And the more you can talk about it, the more you save lives, like you said. And it's such a beautiful story. And anytime and every time you talk about this, people think celebrities are supposed to be perfect. And, we're all human, right? And I had no idea, from now being an audience member and fan, looking into your life with the little that they've shown with you and Brandon, you look like you are not struggling, to be quite honest. And I think that story, your story, really made your performance just untouchable and unbeatable. The breakdown that you and Brandon had towards the end there when you were side by side, I mean, you were moving with intention. And this is what I mean with everything that, I think anybody can really take this note as far as the competition this season. It's like when there's intention behind the movement and emotion through motion, it is, you're unstoppable. And for once, I didn't see you snap out of it at all. You were in it from beginning to end. There was a purpose behind your movement, and it was just so beautiful. Thank you for being vulnerable and having the courage to tell your story. I wish when I was younger that I had people like you to look up to when I was going through my mental health struggles. And, I will always forever be a work in progress. So thank you for sharing your story. I give Lele and Brandon a 9. Okay, couple number 8, Sochi and Val. It was a really beautiful Viennese waltz. Honestly, she's just so easy to watch. She's easy on the eyes as far as a partnership goes. I mean, that when you watch Sochi and Val, that you don't have to stress, meaning like she won't ever flub up. Like, you can tell that she knows her stuff. So how can we build on top of what that base is, which is most likely I would say couples that take a part of Dancing with the Stars, they don't necessarily even get to this level of just knowing your movement so that you can work on the details. For me, I didn't see a huge improvement from last week. However, what I would love to see is just stepping out of the comfort zone a little bit. I would have loved to see more rotation because this is American style Viennese waltz. You don't have to stay and hold. They do lots of like rotations when you see competitions like actual American smooth. I would have loved to see a few like one-legged spins or even a fleckle or 2 or 5. I would have loved to see more heel leads. I would have loved to see a little bit using more of the, actual space of the dance floor. I feel like they only got around maybe once because it went, and then it stopped. But that has nothing to do with anything but the choreography. I'm not even saying anything about Val's choreography. I think what he does is beautiful, always, consistently. He is a great choreographer. We know this. But there is, when you're that good, there is this danger of living in the comfort zone. Meaning, like, for example, when you see Charity and Artem, she really stepped out of her comfort zone. And this is a discussion for, Sochi and Val to have with each other and to communicate, like, what can we do to step out of Sochi's comfort zone a little bit more? Do we need to make the routines harder? Do we need to make the timing different? It just looks so easy. And it's not necessarily like, yes, of course, I know it's not easy. I know you put in a lot of hours. But I would like to see struggle a little bit more. And now's the time to do it, you guys, because it's only halfway through the competition. We want to see a journey. Remember, you want to take us along on your journey. And the journey isn't always black and white, right? There is struggle. But I guess I haven't seen the struggle yet. It feels like you've danced before. I don't know. It's like I'm contradicting myself because I'm saying like you might as well just be a professional dancer and it looks too easy, or I know it's hard because I know I've been there for 26 seasons. I know how intense the rehearsals are. But like, what can we do to step it up just a little bit? Even if that means maybe taking a dip in scores, who cares? There is no success without struggle. All right. I'm only saying this because I believe in you too, and I don't want you to get lost in the shuffle. I give Sochi and Val an 8. Couple number 9, Maurizio and Emma. Wow, his best dance by far. Also, just impressive, right? Like you're talking about 0 dance experience. Emma just looks freaking gorgeous. The way she just threw herself around. She definitely was feeling for the both of them, but it was a beautiful it was a subtle emotion, but it was so powerful from Maurizio, They obviously have a great connection and bond. You can tell, she trusts him to lift her like that. That's not easy, especially, you would think that from that, I think it was week 3, they flubbed up a little bit, that it would have messed with his head, but it's because of their bond, and you can tell that they trust each other through this process, that he's no longer thinking about it, right? He's moving forward. Look, this is a beautiful song. I personally just love this song so much. It's so powerful. I didn't see any awkward movements from Maurizio. Again, I'm not comparing him to anybody but himself. I have to say that maybe Emma could have toned it down just a little bit so that I could have seen his strength more. But it's hard to tone it down with that type of music. And whoever was singing that song, oh my goodness, congratulations. They have the best band in the business, obviously. Congratulations to Ray Chu and his band. But, Emma choreographed this beautifully. I would say one thing that you can work on now moving forward, because I don't know if you've done more ballroom or Latin dances, but you're going to have to use your arms regardless. It's a similar note to what I was saying with Allison. You've got to feel the energy all the way throughout your full arm. If you don't feel like energy tingling or those sensations tingling through your whole arm, out through your fingertips, you're not doing it right. An arm comes from the rib cage. It doesn't come just from throwing an arm. Everything is connected, right? All of our body parts are connected. So we have to understand the body and have more awareness when it comes to where does my arm come from? What expands? Oh, my lungs expand. My ribs expand. So show that. Use your breath. Val does a really great job of using his breath naturally. And you can tell he has, I think, maybe an unspoken communication with his partners. I feel like every season they breathe with him. It's part of the choreography, especially when it comes to contemporary. Emma is an amazing rumba choreographer, so I can't wait for you guys to do that as well. But you could really use what I'm telling you now as far as like extending an arm goes. You could really use that moment for the rumba or any other lyrical type dances as well. Anyway, great job, Mauricio and Emma. I give you both an 8. Yes, Barry and Peta. Oh my gosh, what a great way to end the show. A paso doble, very rarely done during a night like this for most memorable week or night or what a year. At the end of the day, I mean, Barry, he's in a class of his own. He's such a stud. Seriously, I think I would have had a huge crush on him back in my day or back in his day, other way around. Look, strongest dance that I've seen. Still for me though, like I'm really being picky because Barry, when you showed me that cha-cha rhythm that you had, oh my gosh. And when you did that foxtrot for your premiere night, like there was no fear between the movement. And now, and I don't know if it's because Peta is yelling her counts at you or what is it that takes you out of the character of the dance. I feel like you start so strong. And then in the middle, when there's actual choreography, whether it is you tricking yourself or if it's, I don't know, maybe is Peta, maybe when she yells those counts, do you feel defeated already? Like as if you're messing up or are you asking for that? Like these are the types of things that obviously, you know, Peta didn't do it as much as she did a few weeks ago, but like tonight it was still so noticeable. She was literally yelling at him. And for me, it takes me as an audience member out of the character of the dance. It's like I've always said this, and so has, you know, my mentors when I did Dancing with the Stars, you mess up with your celebrity. I saw that when they were going towards the corner and they were doing, you know, walks or marches, he started off on the wrong foot. Now, Peta just needed to take a breath and she should have she should have held back for a step and then just gone on his rhythm. Because when you do that, no one knows that you messed up. But when you start counting out loud and start panicking, you can tell he was stressed. He started out with so much like charm and so much confidence. And then in the middle, when he messed up, he let it get to his head a little bit. And then also Peta was counting. So look, I'm just being picky. I still think this is one of your best dances. So I think there's a lot of room for improvement. Clearly, you're not going home. You were set to be performing last, which means people are voting for you, okay? So I say, Barry and Peta, you just need to continue doing what you're doing. But maybe, Peta, maybe we need to keep the choreography a little bit more simple. Like less steps, more shaping. For example, in the paso doble, I don't know what your next dance is, but less is more with Barry. He doesn't need a lot. He just doesn't need a lot of steps because he's so freaking charming. If he can't learn the routine by Thursday, it's too hard, right? Anyway, I love you, Peta. I don't even think you're listening to this, but anyway, regardless, I always say less is more because when he can just nail his choreography every single time without even questioning it, then you can work on the detail. And God, he could be brilliant. He would be better than Donny Osmond by a million. Seriously, by a million times. Anyway, I give Barry and Peta an 8. I've got a soft spot for Barry. Barry, you're my hero. Oh, wow. Honestly, the elimination is so sad. And this is what always happens on this show, I think because of time and obviously it's live. But poor Mira, oh my gosh, she was so shocked, first of all, and she wasn't able to express herself as far as, you know, what this journey has been like. She hasn't even processed the fact she just got eliminated. I don't know whether they need to have more time at the end or you guys, you know what? Both of you guys need to come on Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans so you can have a full hour to express your thoughts, your feelings, and the journey. We would love to hear from you. And I know that you have many fans, Mira, including myself. You are gorgeous. And no, I don't think you should have been eliminated. Okay. I mean, you're not the worst dancer, but we know that it's more than dancing. And at least you were able to have that moment with your daughter. You know, that is something that you can take with you forever. But we would love to have you. Come on the podcast. Let it all out, girl. Don't wait a few years from now. Let it all out. And Gleb, awesome job. You really did such an amazing job with Mira this season. So congratulations to the both of you. Thank you guys so much for listening to this emotional roller coaster ride of a recap. And make sure you tune in. We've got another episode coming out with Lacey Schwimmer. All right. Love you guys. And thank you so much again for all of your love and support. Seriously. It means more than you know. So thank you. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram on @SexLiesAndSprayTans. Comment. Let me know who you want to see next. And I just want to thank you guys because we hit #1 as far as top shows in the TV and movie genre goes of all podcasts and in that genre. So thank you guys. Keep it up. I love you. And don't forget to rate and review wherever you listen to podcasts. Okay? Sending love. Bye-bye. Make sure you guys follow us at Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans on our Instagram handle, and make sure you comment. Let me know who you want me to interview. What do y'all think? Let me know.